The Rangers beat the New Jersey Devils again by the same score, 5-1. And the Rangers head to MSG for Game 3, up 2-0. A very successful trip, if you will, obviously close in proximity, with the Rangers really dominating the Devils in the first two games at the Prudential Center. And I'd say this game was even better than the first. I'd say the Rangers played even better in this game. And it was after a really strong beginning by the Devils. Look, the Devils had a 1-0 lead after one. I thought the Rangers played a pretty good first period. It wasn't that they didn't play well, but then once they got going in the second, they just sucked the life out of New Jersey. And then New Jersey did have a strong push early in the third, but then the Rangers responded again. And Chris Kreider, 4 goals now, all power play goals in the first 2 games. So 2 goals in the first, 2 goals in the second, all on the power play. And then Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane, who I've been very critical of, I thought had his best game as a Ranger tonight. I think it was his best game. He had a goal and 2 assists, looked really good out there. And Igor wasn't even really all that tested. It wasn't even like he had a whole lot to really face. The Devils scored a power play goal in the first. We'll talk about that goal, avoidable, but, Igor still looks really sharp. And the Devils made a couple of lineup changes. Former Ranger Brendan Smith was in for Siegenthaler. And then forwards, it was Sharon Govich in for Boquist. That neither move really was beneficial. So the Rangers are in a good spot now. And I don't want to talk about just yet. I mean, look, I have to acknowledge that things have definitely gone a lot different than I thought they would. And I think even the most optimistic Ranger fan, I don't think you could have seen it going like this. I mean, this has been really excellent all the way around. Vlad Tarasenko scores again. He scores the first goal. It's just, the mix is there. They already had a good team, and now you throw Tarasenko into the equation, Patrick Kane. Like, it's a strong team, and they're healthy right now, which is very important. And I don't expect it to last. Like, that's unrealistic. Like, that just doesn't last. But right now, it's there. And you go to the Garden, and you'd like to think, and again, I said it a million times with the series, that home ice wasn't that important for many reasons. For the fact that, again, like, the Rangers, you knew they'd feel comfortable at the Prudential Center. There's a lot of Ranger fans there. And the Devils were both teams, the Devils were a lot better on the road. Maybe a lot strong, but really, New Jersey and the Rangers were both better road teams. So we know that they are very capable of going into the opposing building and winning. So you have to remember that. And again, like, although I'm surprised that Jersey really got beat pretty soundly in this game, I'm expecting them in Game 3 to be very hungry. Very, very hungry. And if the Rangers can win that game, they're in the clear. In the absolute clear if they win that game. But, if they don't, then obviously things get interesting. But looking at, like, from just a 2-game standpoint, if you're the Rangers, you just split. Just split those 2, and you're looking pretty good, right? I mean, of course, you want to be greedy. You want to get the sweep. That'd be awesome. But I've seen too many series. Like, things can change quickly when you least expect it for many different reasons. So Rangers got to just stick with it. Their attitude seems good. Everything's just clicking right now. And, I think about even like Artemi Panarin, who isn't necessarily lighting up the score sheet. He really isn't, actually, at all. He had no points tonight. But he looks like there's more jump to his game than last year. And maybe it helps playing the Devils, but like the Penguins weren't exactly like a total defensive juggernaut, and he did not look good in that series. And Zibanejad, it's fun. And the encouraging thing is this: Mika Zibanejad only has 1 assist through 2 games, and they've still, have a 10-2 combined score. So there's more that could even theoretically be happening. But it's really been. It's just nice to have these playoff games and you're not completely stressed out. I mean, you think about, even in the best of times, the Rangers, it was the games and the series, and so far, so good. But on to the next thing. I'm sure they'll enjoy this one, but, and the MSG crowd is going to be fired up. I mean, they are going to be really, really, really into it. Feeling good about their team. And, it'll be exciting to see the atmosphere, and I'm sure, it'll be fun. But for this game, you knew the Devils were going to come out strong, and they did. I thought the Devils came out strong, but the Rangers were good as well. And, the officiating here, it was interesting. By the end of it, they gave out so many misconducts, which is probably the smart thing, just to not let this unravel, because they had a chance to. But there were definitely in my opinion, some questionable calls in the first, mostly that went against the Rangers, but, you know, with the result, I'm not going to make a big deal about it. But Rangers do get the first power play. At 5:17, Brendan Smith roughs Tyler Mott. And the Rangers, unfortunately, don't score on that power play. They had chances, but they were unable to cash in. And at 9:46, Nico Mikkola is called for cross-checking Nathan Bastian. Yeah, this one, I go back and forth on. I guess I understand why they called it. I didn't really agree with it, but I guess I understand. And the Rangers penalty kill did a good job, but then at the very end, it didn't. And Eric Howla scores his first goal of the series from McLeod and Palat. So it was the second unit. And this game early was a lot of icings, a lot of one. The Devils dominated the Rangers in the early. The Rangers ended up winning faceoffs as it went on, but early on, Devils were winning every faceoff, it felt like, and they were also icing it a lot too. It was a choppy start, and there was a bad mistake on this goal by Barclay Goodrow. And as good as he is defensively, look, last game he was excellent. I noticed with him, and maybe it's because he's in this situation more than most because he is a penalty killer. He's not great at getting the puck out of the zone, and I know that sounds a little bit like wild, but I notice it a lot. And this is a situation where he went too quick. He didn't realize he had time, and he kind of, without looking, he backhands it right to the defenseman. I thought it was a defenseman. Maybe Severson is a guess. It might have been to Severson, and eventually they reset it up, and it's a deflection in front, I guess, by McLeod on the Palat shot, and then it trickles by Shesterkin, and Howla puts it in. So that was just frustrating, just because it was actually a good kill. But at the end, a mistake was made by Barclay Goodrow, and it ends up in the back of the Ranger net, and it's 1-0 Devils. Later in the first, Nathan Bastian boards Ryan Lindgren at 19:18. Pretty vicious boarding by Bastian. For me, honestly, I thought that should have been subject to a review, but they only called a 2-minute penalty, and then the Rangers had some chances, and at the end of the period, they call a roughing penalty on Adam Fox. Just a ridiculous. This was an absolutely awful fucking call. And Fox is called for roughing. He did nothing. All he did was just grab Marino after Marino cross-checked Zibanejad. Nothing abnormal. Just post-scrum stuff, and the ref called it on Fox. I have my reasons for why I think it happened, but I'm not going to get into that. But, so now, instead of a Ranger power play, it's 4-on-4. Nothing comes of it. And then eventually, the Rangers tie it up. And it's the same guy that scored the first goal last game, Vlad Tarasenko, who is just fitting in great. And he's a great playoff performer, and he has a great shot, right? You think about Frank Vetrano last year, and Tarasenko's got that great shot, but more to his game. And nothing against Frank, who I thought Frankie was really an excellent Ranger for when he was here. But that's kind of the comp that I would have. Tarasenko, just a shoot first type of guy, but he's got a lot more to his game. But Tarasenko scores his second of the series from Fox, so Adam Fox with a couple of assists tonight, and Lindgren. So Adam Fox has done such a good job in the offensive zone of just making these moves at the top, and the Devils forwards are struggling, kind of containing him. And Tarasenko drops his stick, picks it up, is set up by Fox, and wrists it by Vitek Vanacek. And as far as Vitek Vanacek goes, from a Ranger perspective, I hope he stays in there. Not that it's all on him, but I'm confident against Vitek Vanacek, and I think whereas Akira Schmid, like, there's an unknown there. Like, maybe he can kind of, like, you see that sometimes, and so. Would I be stunned if Lindy Ruff went in that direction at some point? No, I really wouldn't be. So I'm kind of hoping it's Vanacek from a Rangers standpoint. And then the Rangers draw a power play. And Artemi Panarin is slashed by Miles Wood. So Artemi's been doing a good job drawing penalties. And the Rangers power play converts. And again, it is Chris Kreider on a shot by Kane. And Zibanejad gets the other assist. So Kreider just sitting in front, doing his thing. And the Rangers take a 2-1 lead on that one. Then Jacob Trouba interferes with Timo Meier at 11:28, but the Rangers kill it off. That was a big kill. The game was still 2-1. And then Meier holds Zibanejad. Really nice work by Mika. And at this point, the Rangers are really starting to take over, but Zibanejad, good hustle, staying with it, and Meier takes him down, and the Rangers make him pay again. And again, it's Kreider. And again, set up by Kane. It's Kreider from Kane and Fox. So Kreider's fourth of the series, second of the night. Kane with his second assist of the night, and then Fox with his second assist as well of the night. So with 4 minutes left in the period, Rangers take a 3-1 lead. And this is a play where Kane takes a shot from the right side, and another deflection goal by Kreider, but this one was a little bit different, where Vanacek, I don't know, he probably might want to have that one back. Kreider was kind of off to the side, whereas the other 3 deflections were kind of similar, just right in front. This one, Kreider hangs to the side, deflects it, and it trickles by. Vanacek gives Rangers a 3-1 lead. We go to the third, and the Devils, they hit the post. They were coming hard, but the Rangers were able to weather that storm. And then at 6:34, an unbelievable individual effort by Patrick Kane. Kane scores his first goal of the series unassisted at 4:01. This is a play where Kane makes a nice defensive play at the blue line, and then he chases it down, and it kind of becomes a mini 2-on-1 with Kreider. But then the Kreider option gets taken away, and Kane just takes it to the net and just kind of slyly roof backhand by Patrick Kane. And that's where it's like, wow, like that was an impressive all-around play by Kane. Like that's the type of stuff like you're hoping for. And you know he has it in him. That's, I guess, the good thing, is that he has it within him to do it. We just don't always see it. I think he kind of, controls the tempo and is kind of, intentional about, when he's going to kind of go that extra mile. And I guess it's Patrick Kane, so you can let it happen. But a really, really nice goal by Kane. Impressive. And it gives the Rangers a 4-1 lead. Damon Severson slashes Kaapo Kakko at 10:47. That Ranger power play doesn't score. But soon thereafter, Kakko does. And it's Kakko's first goal of the series from Hedl and Mikkola. And Kakko has looked really good. I think the kid line continues to play a really good game, just all around. But that kid line I thought was good tonight. And Kakko, well-deserved. He had chances, and it's good to see him score. Gives Rangers a 5-1 lead. Then there's just a bunch of penalties. At 13:20 is when it basically all happens. There's a fight between Michael McLeod and Braden Schneider. And both of them got some good punches in. And then you get misconducts. Basically, the entire I guess both fourth lines, Goodrow, Vesey, and Mott all are given 10-minute misconducts, as well as Nico Mikkola. And then for the Devils, Brendan Smith, Nathan Bastian, Kevin Ball, Miles Wood as well. So just ridiculous. Like the benches were basically just like totally bare almost. And then 18 seconds later, Timo Meier and Adam Fox are giving misconducts. They said, get out of here. And at that point, the Devils had a power play, but then that goes away when Timo Meier is called for cross-checking Fox. So then it becomes 4-on-4. Nothing happens there. And then Eric Hallis slashes Jacob Trouba at 17:22. So the Rangers get a late power play. But again, it ends up being an easy 5-1 win. The Rangers are up 2-0 in the series. And let's see how things go at the Garden. Like I said, expect a hungry Devil team, but expect, the crowd is going to be really into it. It'll be some Ranger playoff debuts for some, namely Kane and Tarasenko. But the goal here is to split these next 2 games. And the thing is this, if you can win game 3, you are looking, so that's you're looking amazing. But if you lose game 3, as long as you can win 4 and you come out of there 3-1, that's a good place to be in. Here's the last thing I'll say. The Rangers need to remember, and this is a totally different circumstance. Don't get me wrong, but the Rangers, look, the last series they were in, they were up 2-0 and then lost the next 4. Again, completely different set of circumstances, but you have to remember that. Those are the learning experiences, and so you cannot, not that they took their foot off the gas, but you have to stay with it. You just have to. You have to act as if, you have to basically play with the same desperation. And it's easy for human nature to kick in. I'm sure the Devils will naturally be more desperate. I believe that, but I think the Rangers, clearly there's a recipe to success here. They know it, and the margin is big right now. Like, again, a combined 10-2 score, but, all is right in Rangerland right now. But, just going to enjoy this one. And this series now shifts from the Prudential Center to Madison Square Garden. So hopefully the Rangers can carry that success home. And I'm very excited to see what happens. Again, Rangers with another 5-1 victory. They are now up 2-0 in this best of 7 series.